Chi- Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is in more trouble now, even though it's hard to believe the migrant crisis is steadily getting worse, and Chicago is steadily going into further debt because of their president.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. I appreciate everybody for being here. We have much to discuss this evening because, as I said, the migrant crisis, the situation of illegal immigrants in the city of Chicago, really in America, but in the city of Chicago, is only getting worse. So much so the city is now going into further debt and in a worse situation than previously has been reported. Now, we already have been documenting this from day one, okay? This channel right here has been consistently documenting the migrant crisis, in particular in Chicago, so much so that I've actually, myself, have actually gone to an asylum shelter and have interviewed them and have discussed with them and debunked the narrative that these are asylum seekers fleeing state persecution or gang persecution. I've done that myself. I've debunked that myself. All right. They're here for economic opportunity, which is why most people immigrate to another country anyway. I've already debunked that. Chicago has already established that they are in the hole of $1 billion. And this was in last year. They already discovered they're in the hole of $1 billion because of their presence here, because of them being here, because of all the money that they've spent here. And we're discovering more audits are being done. We're finding out more about them. And what we're finding out is that more money than what we previously have understood, what we previously been told, which was, mind you, we're in the hole of $1 billion, primarily like 90% because of them being here. Now we find out that we're in a much deeper hole than that because of them. Now, before we play anything, and as you guys are coming in, and I hope that you guys are hitting that like button, I really do. I really would appreciate that. As you guys are doing that, I'm going to play the copyright disclaimer so I can establish that everything we play thus forth will be under the guise of fair use. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Audit from the state shows Illinois massively overspent on a program giving immigrants access to state-sponsored health care. The audit found over 3 years, the state spent $900 million more than expected on the program, partially due to it expanding 3 times since 2020 because the need was dire. Governor Pritzker, though, already proposed scaling back health care for undocumented immigrants in his proposed budget earlier this month. And advocates for the health care plan were at the state capitol yesterday fighting for it. But many Republican state lawmakers say the findings of this audit is reason enough just to scrap the entire program.
What this truly does show is while this was a good press pop for a governor trying to get more recognition on the national stage, he was unable to be trusted by the taxpayers of Illinois to actually manage and run this program properly and within costs estimated and associated to the program.
Whether or not the program continues depends on this year's budget. Lawmakers vote on it in May.
Okay, so the program needs to stop completely. I think we can all agree on that. I think there's been a general consensus that they cannot handle this type of program. I think we can all fully agree on that aspect. They're going to vote on it next month. Here's the thing. The program has expanded. First off, these are not legal citizens. These are what they call undocumented, which means they're not legally supposed to be here. They're getting state-funded health care. All right. It's expanded. Okay. 3 times. It expanded 3 times. And they overestimated. That's why I played the whole thing. I didn't interrupt it. They overestimated. They over budgeted the clip, the amount up to over $900 million. $900 million. I want you to keep this in mind. Let's put this in perspective here, ladies and gentlemen. That's $900 million more than what they had already planned on spending on them. So it's not like they set out a budget, said, okay, well, we have $900 million and we're going to spend $900 million on them. That's what was going on. They said that this is the budget, and in some way, they wound up overdoing the budget up to $900 million. That's exactly what happened. It tells us that they're too broke to pay reparations. They almost spent $1 billion just on healthcare alone. This isn't just health. This isn't healthcare, shelter, food, transportation, all of these things all combined together, which is still a lot of money in the course of a few years. This is just health care alone. And they're still not even deciding to cut this out of the budget. They're still not even deciding to cut this out of the budget. This is why the city of Chicago, really this is the state thing, but most of the illegals came to the city of Chicago. This is why Chicago is in the debt it's in. This is why Chicago is having a problem that it does. I want you guys to put this in perspective, right? 900 million more. You overdid 900 million. Let's say we go to the grocery store. Let's just put ourselves in this position, right? We go to the grocery store. We have about a $50 budget. Let's just say a $50 budget. You're there to get some milk, eggs, some bread, you know, just maybe a pack of chicken or something like that. Let's just say that, right? And let's say you know your budget is around $50 and you $50. Did I just freeze up? It looked like I just froze up. Okay. Not sure what the hell. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to go through it. It looks like there's some, I don't know why. It looks like there's some type of technical issue going on. If it doesn't get better, we're gonna see about doing something. We're gonna see about doing something if it doesn't get better. But let's say for the sake of the argument, you're there, you're going to the grocery store, $50, that's your limit. You know, maybe there's a chance that you will spend a little bit more, but you want to aim around that ballpark. So you might pick up like some butter, rice, something like that. And you might get like 55, maybe 60. You might spend like maybe $10 more. Imagine if when you ring up all your groceries and you see the bill, you see it, you see that the receipt says $1,000. Let's say the receipt said $1,000 and you're only supposed to spend $50 and you're winded up thinking, how did I spend tens of times more? Your budget was so small and you spent this much money. You got to think like, okay, in between me putting a bunch of stuff in the cart, you would automatically think like, this cart is a little bit full for my $50 budget, right? That's what you would think. I think that I might need to slow down and kind of assess what I got going on, because just by before you get to 1,000, before you even touch half $1,000, when you get a few $100s worth of groceries in a cart, if you get $200, $300 in your cart, you're gonna stop and say, yeah, this is looking like I'm kind of pushing my budget a little bit. That's before you even get close to $1,000. You'd look like, yeah, I'm kind of pushing my budget. Let me reassess what I got in my cart. Let me just make sure I get the necessities. Okay, before you got close, and then you calculate like, okay, this is way too. I'm doing way too much. Got to put some of this stuff back. That's what you think you have budget. So tell me on the physically possible, is it possible at all that somebody is able to spend $900 million? Okay, $900 million. That is close to $1 billion more than what you had already budgeted. Please explain. That has got to be some of the worst budgeting I've ever seen if it was done accidentally. And this is why I gave you the whole example about the grocery store, because even if you're just, vicariously putting groceries in the cart, you're gonna consciously think like, yeah, this cart is kind of full for my budget. You wouldn't even be able to accidentally spend $1,000 worth of groceries if you know your budget is 50. That can't be an accident. So you can't tell me that somebody accidentally spent 900, almost close to $1 billion more on illegal immigrant health care than what the budget calls for. You can't possibly convince me that that's an accident. It's impossible. That is absolutely impossible. Now, honestly, had Kamala won, we would have never found this out. And already know they're already in a hole of up to $1 billion because they're just spending money like it's the end of the world on these immigrants. That's what they're doing. So much so, let me show you. Chicago is in a very bad situation. Don't know what's going. Hopefully the thing stopped freezing. Hopefully, if not, we're gonna have to make something. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on now. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Chicago. It says Mayor Johnson. This is Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago. Mayor Johnson cracks the door open to city layoffs and service cuts. Now, if you guys hold on for 1 second, y'all. There's some technical issues. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on for 1 second. Okay. What's going? Hold on. Okay, the page just froze. Let me pull it back up, y'all. There is weird little stuff going on. Okay. Damn. We getting it together. We getting it together. You know what I'm gonna do? Just give me 2 seconds, y'all. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I'm gonna switch to another browser. Take up a little less data. Or RAM, I mean. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Because I don't know why this internet's tripping like this. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. My bad. My bad. Hopefully everything goes smoothly now. Hopefully, I don't know. I had to switch to a different browser. So, yep. But hopefully, as I was gone, that you guys were hitting that thumbs up button. I hope that that's what you guys were doing. But the show must go on. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue to discuss what we were discussing. Okay, they not see Brandon Johnson already know what we talking about. That's why he's shutting us down. But it's okay. We still on him. We still on him. We ain't letting nothing slow us down. Okay, it says that he's considering or he's cracking the door open for city layoffs and service cuts. Now, I want to pause it right here. And remember when last year, at the end of last year, in December, when we were talking about how Brandon Johnson wanted to up the property taxes to fix the hole and to get out of the debt that the city was in. Now, at that time, we knew it was over $1 billion. At this point in time, this is close to about like $2 to $3 billion. Now that we're starting to do audits and stuff like that, we're finding out we're way deeper in the hole than what we thought we were. So we already know that this is something that he is fully aware of, and he's trying to cut everything he can. He wanted to raise the property taxes. Nobody was going with that, but he wound up raising taxes on damn near everything else, so much so that he could pretty much make up for the fact that he wasn't able to raise the property taxes. And remember, he said, well, we got to do it. We got to do it because there is absolutely no way I want to do any service cuts. I don't want to do any layoffs. We don't want to do that. That is absolutely not an option. We will absolutely not do that. Do you all remember that? Do you all remember that? So he said, no service cuts, no layoffs. That's absolutely not an option. This is why we have to raise the property taxes, because if we don't raise the property taxes, then there's going to be layoffs and there's going to be service cuts. The property taxes didn't raise. Nobody voted on it. So he said, okay, since I'm not going to be able to raise the property taxes, I'm just going to raise the taxes on damn near everything else to the degree where it's pretty much a raise in property taxes, because just living in the city now has become more expensive than it's ever been. All right. And now still, even though he raised the taxes on everything else to make up for the hole that the city of Chicago was in, he's still now considering layoffs and service cuts, because the hole is a lot deeper. And this is why we're saying the hole is a lot deeper than what they were admitting to. We're going to look into this a little bit. All right. It's saying he's opening the door. It's not like an official announcement that he's doing it, but he's quote unquote crack opening the door. All right. So it says we're going to go down. Oh, I don't even feel like signing it. It says for 2 years, Mayor Brandon Johnson has refused to consider layoffs or unpaid furlough days. It says, but the fiscal landscape has changed since the city forecast a 1.2 billion shortfall for 2025. So, 1.12 billion. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me sign in here. Okay. Let me get that off the screen. So I got to sign in, or I got to log in, my bad. Because I had to log out when I reset the thing. Hold on. Y'all know we gotta make it work. We gotta make it work. And we always do. We always make it work. It's okay. It's okay, y'all. I appreciate y'all patience with me. I really do. It means a lot. Okay. See, this is why you gotta be able to adapt, do improv and stuff. All right. So we back on it. Here we go. So scrolling down. Now I just logged in now. Okay, come on now. Okay, there we go. Okay. There is something going on right now where you got to log in, and I did log in. Okay. Let me see something. Okay. Well, that page has been having an issue for a minute. So we're going to skip past that. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skip past that. Ultimately, he's opening the idea for budget cuts. That's what he's doing. He's opening the idea for budget cuts. I would want to read into the article, but the articles have an issue, so we're not even going to waste time because there's still more to discuss there. Now, we're in this situation, and I've talked to Brandon Johnson myself about this, and I warned him myself about this, and I told him that this is what the city was eventually going to go into. The city was eventually going to go in this direction because you guys clearly don't have a plan. You're spending money, and there's no plan on being able to receive anything. It's not like you're investing in something. You're just wasting all this money and on people who are now currently getting deported. So y'all didn't know what you were doing. You were asking Biden for money. He was all like, nah, I got to send money overseas. And now you guys were using the city resources to do so. And remember what they said. They said that, well, Chicago is a city full of immigrants. And this is really because of the previous. Chicago's always been a quote unquote sanctuary city, a city of quote unquote sanctuary. That's what they've said. That's what they said. Remember, that's what they said. They said it was Harold Washington who made the city this way. Well, actually, turns out that's not the truth. This is an executive order from Brandon Johnson himself. This is an executive order from Brandon Johnson himself. We're going to skip down a little bit, but because this is him talking about, well, the city is a city of refugees and immigrants and stuff like that. But I want you to see Mayor Brandon Johnson. Okay, this was in 2023 when he was first elected. It says executive order on immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights. Now, he goes into a spiel talking about a Black Haitian immigrant, Jean DeSable, was recognized as the founder of the city. We've already kind of discussed that a little bit, saying that a lot of people say that Jean DeSable was Haitian, but the woman who was a white woman who created the narrative that he was Haitian turns out to be a liar. Turns out she even said that she never actually met him. So the only proof that anybody has that he was actually Haitian is his last name. Nobody knows when he was born or where he was born really officially. And a lot of people, including myself, I've done the research, right, to say that because the France did own Louisiana and he knew people in Louisiana, he was a trader and he used to trade from the northern states to the southern states with, the South being like Louisiana, the North being, New York and all of that stuff. It's more than likely that he was a descendant from Louisiana prior to going to Chicago and founding Chicago than he was from Haiti, because the Haitian Revolution didn't start to 1804 and Chicago was found in the 1830s. So that's only a 30-year time gap. So he would have to have moved to America and have developed this country in America right after the Haitian Revolution. And that just the logistics of that is less likely than him actually being born in America or being from the United States of America and just having a French last name, because the France did own slaves in America. A lot of people don't know that, but the French actually did own slaves in the land that we know as America. This is prior to the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. So you got to really understand American history. And when you put together what is the most likely scenario, in my opinion, what the most likely scenario is that he is probably a descendant of someone from Louisiana. Okay. And he just has a French last name. Because after his wife passed away in Chicago, he actually moved back down south. And it's kind of weird for you to move back down south, or you to move down south if you're not from the South. Why wouldn't you just, go back to your home country or even stay in Chicago? So digressing on that, I just wanted to say that because Brandon Johnson says that a lot, that it was founded by a Haitian, but there's really no proof of that. Okay. And there was other states owned by the French as well, too. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, because a lot of people like, Chicago was founded by a Haitian. Well, actually, when you actually know about American history, we really don't know that, to be honest. I'm not saying he wasn't Haitian. I'm saying, in my opinion, the most likely scenario is that he was probably FBA, to be very honest with you. This is not even me being biased. This is me just objectively talking about what is the most likely scenario for somebody to have found a city. Okay, that's just what it is. But let's go into it. Let's go into the executive order. So he's talking about that and how America was built by, or not America, but Chicago was built by immigrants. Da 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 da. Okay, scrolling down. Now, this is where he puts it on Harold Washington. He says, Mayor Harold Washington signed an executive order on March 7th, 1985, halting city agencies, cooperation with federal immigration authorities. And whereas the ongoing crisis of newly arriving asylum seekers, that's a lie, and migrants, okay, they're calling them all asylum seekers. We had to keep going to City Hall to debunk that narrative. And migrants into the city of Chicago has illuminated the immense challenges that the city must face to overcome in order to provide support and services to our new arrivals. And whereas hundreds of mutual aid volunteers across the city have worked tirelessly to meet the moment by organizing and providing food, donations, bed supplies, interpretation services. And whereas to meet the needs, listen to this, y'all, to meet the needs of the newly arrived community members, it is necessary to coordinate, listen to this, y'all, the city's existing resources through an executive department within the mayor's office. So the city's existing resources, not resources that we were given because of the crisis. This is the city's existing resources. This is something that the city had already had. These are resources that the city that was essentially already spoken for. None of it's not like we were just sitting on extra money and extra cash. Like, well, I mean, we could find something to do with all this gold we were sitting on. We just had no reason to use it. No, this is stuff that was already spoken for. But he's saying that in order to meet the challenge, we have to use the existing resources on these people. Now, it gets worse, y'all. Listen to this. It's saying, while our federal immigration system needs to adapt humanely to the current global challenges driving immigration, Chicago will continue to provide a safe haven and home for new arrivals. And whereas in support new arrivals, the city of Chicago must reckon with our existing systemic inequities that many communities, y'all listen to this, many communities already face related to housing, safety, and other supportive services, particularly Black and undocumented communities. Okay, well, they said Black. Now listen to this. Oh, yeah, y'all lock in with me. It says, and whereas the Black immigrant population, in Chicago has been growing steadily in the last few years, reflecting a nationwide trend, with the foreign-born African community growing by more than 50% between 2005 and 2017. Black immigrants. Oh, okay. Oh, a lot of people been saying, I can't confirm or deny this, I'm just letting you know, a lot of people been saying the way you've been moving, Brandon Johnson, a lot of people been saying that he's been a Black immigrant for a minute. That rumor's been kind of floating around for a little bit now. It's been floating around for a little bit. It seems like you're trying to give your people a little something. That's kind of what it's looking like right now. It's kind of looking like that right now. So the Black immigrants who they said have just came here from the years of like 2005 and 2017. So as far as the Black natives and the Black people who've been here for generations, the Black families who've raised their families, their children, their grandchildren, all of that, build houses, build businesses, just damn them. Just forget about them. They just don't matter at all. We need to talk about the people who just got here. We need to focus on them, not the people who've been here, who've helped this economy flourish and picked this economy up and everything like that, and made this city the great city that it is. Nobody cares about them. We're talking about the people who just got here. That is our priority. Legally or not legally, that is our priority. That is what Brandon Johnson is saying. Let's continue, though. Let's continue. Okay? So you can get something if you're black, but you got to be an immigrant. So if you are a Chicago native, a black Chicago native, an FBA, you're not getting nothing, okay? Now, it continues to say, whereas a few community and advocacy groups dedicated to a specific to the specific needs of the Chicago's black immigrant population. I gotta pause it again. I'm sorry. Is that not divisive? Is it me? Because ain't we all from the motherland? Is it me? Because to me, that sounds a little bit divisive. Well, what about the Pan-African stuff going on? Hold on. This sounds like a little bit of the division. How are you going to separate us? Okay. I thought when we get pulled over by the police, they can't tell, all they see is black. I thought when we get pulled over by the police, all they can see is black people, and they only can tell if you're black. I thought we was all from the motherland. All of these advocacy groups and these organizations dedicated to their aid, to black immigrants' aid, isn't that a little bit divisive? I just want to call a spade here. We got to call a spade a spade. Okay, but let's continue. I just wanted to ask you that question. If you guys think that what this is divisive, put the 100 emoji in the chat room. I want to know. Let's do a little survey real quick. Is that divisive? Okay, for all of these aids and advocacy groups and organizations and all that to specifically help black immigrants. Okay, I just want to know, because in my opinion, that's a little divisive. Now, it continues to say, it keeps going on. Oh, yeah, so they helping out with, the needs of black immigrant population, including language access resources for immigrants arriving for non-English speaking countries, or that even with higher levels of education. Okay, all right. And these are the people who always brag about being the most educated and we the most educated. Oh, man, I wish we had that help. Must be nice. It says black immigrants tend to earn low wages compared to their similarly trained immigrant or native workers. Brandon Johnson, you kind of going a little above and beyond for the black immigrants for you to claim. Now, when Brandon Johnson be talking, he be claiming that his people FBA. He be implying that his people are FBA. Talking about, yeah, my people came here with the Great Migration and all that stuff. He implies that a lot, but I don't see this type of energy for FBA. I just never do. It continues to say, addressing these long-standing issues will require meaningful and proactive community engagement and support. And the Chicago Office of New Americas must, wow, that just sounds so divisive. Okay. The Chicago Office of New Americas must provide significant direction, services, and resources for newly arrived community members, along with existing immigrant communities, including but not limited to DACA recipients, undocumented students, and people applying for citizenship. And I mean, it just keep going. The role of the Office of New America can be elevated and expanded further to allow it to better serve communities across Chicago. I don't think we even need to read more. I mean, damn. This is what we've been talking about. Now, anytime they come over here and they be talking hella, they get their chest poked out and everything like that, bragging about how well they do, bragging about how smart they are, bragging about how successful their family is. We don't get the help that they get. We, as me, as being an FBA, and as you got, we can't get no DACA assistance and grants and stuff like that. There are things that we can get, but they can get that too. But then there are things that they can get and we can't get that. We can't touch what they got, but they can touch what we got. It's like that. That's how it's like for them to sit up here and brag and talk about how they're the more disciplined and driven and sophisticated group of people, and they came over here with $5. They love saying that. They came over here with $5. My parents didn't have any money. I came over here with $5 and we just had to work and work and work and work. And now we have a whole mansion and we have a few doctors in the house. That's how great we are, the American dream. They always talk about that stuff. But when you actually look, there's things that they get for being immigrants just getting here that we can't get. We're getting gentrified out of our homes that we actually worked for and built, did everything the right way, had the paperwork and everything set up. We get gentrified. They coming over here, all they got to do is speak in a foreign language and they get to be in the line and they get to get assistance. And because of all of this help from people who are not contributing economically, okay, this is what Brandon Johnson did. So when Brandon Johnson likes to say, oh, well, no, this was because of Donald Trump, because now he's trying to say Donald Trump is withholding federal dollars, which is why the city's like how it is. Donald Trump just got in office. Donald Trump just got in office is not Donald Trump. This is because of the executive order that Brandon Johnson decided to sign. This is him, okay? This is his doing. And you still got them over here doing a whole bunch of stuff. Let me show you this. I got to pull up all the clips now, but let me show you this. Okay. And this is something that I've been exposed when I did my thing in Chicago.
At Home Depot is at the center of growing community frustration.
Hold on. Remember when I was at my thing in Chicago, when I was doing my interview and I told them, I asked them what they do, and they said, oh, we go to Home Depot and we sit up here and damn near loiter. We sit up here and just wait for jobs. Look at this mess. Look at what Chicago was going through.
A Southside Home Depot is at the center of growing community frustration. Customers and neighbors say the store has become a magnet for migrant loitering and harassment.
Some residents tell us they no longer feel safe visiting this store. They're calling on the city and on Home Depot to step in. Our Tia Ewing has more.
Well, Scott and Dawn, it's not unusual, right, to see people outside Home Depot looking for work. But customers and neighbors say the crowds have grown significantly, now fueled by an influx of migrants. They say it's turned shopping and even just walking down 87th Street right near the Dan Ryan chaotic. Over the weekend, this was the scene outside the Home Depot in Princeton Park on Chicago's South Side, and it's drawing a growing concern. Complaints are pouring in from customers and neighbors who say they're being harassed by groups of alleged migrants crowding the parking lot. This video shows dozens of people gathered near the entrance, many of them customers say approaching cars and following people into the store in hopes of getting work. One customer told us it's become an unsettling experience just trying to shop.
Okay. Pause it right here. Being black, we all know this. This has been a long thing in the community, so much so that we got comedians making jokes about this. But this is a for real thing. We can't walk in the store without cameras, all the cameras following us, them watching our every single move, us being followed around in the store, us being told we need to hurry up and leave the store, hurry up and buy. We get told that as FBA all the time. Can you imagine what it would be like if we were sitting up there harassing somebody, following them around the store, asking, essentially begging them for money, which is what they're doing. They're begging them for money. We can't even go in the store as a customer and peacefully shop. How many videos have we seen where somebody's going in the store and an employee's looking around the damn aisle and following them around, and every aisle you go into, they're just hanging clothes up, or they're putting up stuff on the shelves and stuff like that. They're sweeping up right behind you. They're following you. They're like a personal assistant. Everywhere you go is where they go. Okay, they're on their radio giving code words and stuff like that. That happens to us all the time. Okay, it is known to happen to us. These people are not even citizens. They come in here, they're harassing the customers. Home Depot's allowing it. They're allowing it, which is bad for business because it's making people not want to go to that Home Depot. Not only that, they're doing that so much so to the point where they say, hey, do you have work or anything like that? Oh no, they're following you in the store. And people are like, okay, this is crazy. How many times, y'all, have you gone to a store, Walmart, something like that, grocery store, something, and there would be a homeless guy who's standing outside, and he's like, hey, you got $1 or something like that? You got $1. And so a lot of times, if we got like a $1 or some change or something like that, we'll give it to him or whatever. How many times does that, if that person is black, okay, how many times does that person, he's standing outside, he doesn't go inside the store, he's standing outside the store, and he's asking the customers coming in if they have $1 or something like that, and then an employee comes out the store and says, okay, you got to go, because you're bothering the employees coming in the store. You have to leave because you shouldn't even be around here. Or if they circle the parking lot, we're going to call the police because you're around here essentially harassing the customers. They will call that on a homeless person for being outside the store harassing the customers, because it makes people not want to be there. All right. It's an unfortunate situation for the homeless person, but it is also bad for business, because it makes people not want to, like, feel awkward and want to go to another store. All right. So it's bad on both ends, but they don't care. They make that sacrifice. They say, hey, if you don't leave, we're going to have to call the police. You can't be out here doing that. You can't be out here panhandling right outside the establishment. That's bad for business. That's what they would do to a black homeless person. All right. These people, not even citizens, not only do they get to sit out the store and panhandle, they get to go inside of the store and harass you while you're shopping, and nothing gets done about it. Nothing gets done. And I'm going to show you the video. It's a line full, it's a parking lot full. You would think that this is an event, and this is them just on a daily basis. You would honestly believe that this is an event. This is why Chicago is in the situation it's in. Look how many there are. I'm going to show you the video. Look at how many there are.
Step in. Our Tia Ewing has more.
Well, Scott and Dawn, it's not unusual. Influx of migrants. They say it's turned shopping and even just walking down 87th Street right near the Dan Ryan chaotic. Over the weekend, this was the scene outside the Home Depot in Princeton Park on Chicago's South Side, and it's drawing a growing concern. Complaints are pouring in from customers and neighbors who say they're being harassed by groups of alleged migrants crowding the parking lot. This video shows dozens of people gathered near the entrance, many of them, customers say, approaching cars and following people into the store in hopes of getting work. One customer told us it's become an unsettling experience just trying to shop.
The man, 4, 5, 6, and they're asking you, can I clean your car? Can I wash your windshield? And even when you coming out, they like waving their hands for you to stop, like you've just hit them or something. And then they come up to you like they are contractors working.
So how did it get to this point? Well, residents and former employees say the issue escalated after Texas Governor Greg Abbott began sending migrants to Chicago. And since then, neighbors say trash has piled up. A street food vendor has taken over the sidewalk. People feel unsafe, and little, if anything, has been done to address this. A former Home Depot employee described it as a failure on the part of both the company and the city, saying the lack of action is only making things worse.
They're impeding on traffic. They're outside. It's just so many of them where, to me, it's unsafe.
All the immigrants you've got.
Now, I'm going to pause it real quick. and say, the people who are complaining, the people who are on the phone and saying it's unsafe, these are mostly women. Mostly women are complaining because you don't know these people. These people are coming from countries that do horrible things to women openly. And I'm not trying to say that in America bad things don't happen to women, because they do, but that's not the norm. It's not socially acceptable. It's not something that you see on the regular basis that gets like, well, that happens every day. These people coming from their countries, it happens every day. It's not nothing for somebody to get, for you to see somebody, a woman getting snatched up and thrown in. It's not nothing. It happens on the regular basis. This is the environment that these people are coming to this country in. And imagine that a man, you go into the Home Depot or whatever, you by yourself, you trying, it's getting nice outside, so you want to get some fertilizer for your garden or whatever the case may be, whatever reason you're at Home Depot. Maybe you trying to get some lamps or some light bulbs or whatever the case may be, and you go inside and a grown man says, hey, can I wash your car? Can I do something? You say, oh, well, I don't have any spare change, sir. I'm sorry. You go into the store, he follow you in the store. And everywhere you turn, mind you, this isn't an employee. This isn't somebody who's watching you, making sure you don't steal anything. This is some grown stranger from another country who's sitting up there everywhere you are around, where you turn, every aisle you go to, he goes in that same aisle. And let's just assume it's just one. In a lot of cases, it's not just one. Just imagine, and I'm not trying to scare you, but imagine two grown men you have never met. You don't know them from a can of paint. The government doesn't know them because they're not documented to be here. Imagine two grown men from another country just following you around a damn Home Depot, and there's a crowd of them outside. There's a crowd of them outside. You're not gonna want to go to that Home Depot anymore. You're gonna be all like, you know what? I'm cool. Whatever I need from here, I will go further away to someplace else in order to get whatever I need, because this is not comfortable. She wouldn't feel comfortable. That's why most of the people who are calling in saying that this is not safe are women, because they're the main ones who feel unsafe, not just by them being in the neighborhood, but it's so much so they are so out of touch. I want to say, where they will follow you. Homeless people don't even do that. Homeless people don't even do that. When they're walking across the street and they got their cans and stuff like that, they don't actually knock on your door. They'll look, and if you don't give them any eye contact, they keep it pushing. They don't follow you around in the store. What the hell are you doing? But this is what they're doing, okay? But we're the ones who are supposed to be feeling sorry for them because they're getting deported. I just want you to put that in its proper perspective.
Got the African immigrants over there, you got the Haitian immigrants over there, you've got the Hispanic immigrants over there. At first, it was only Latino immigrants for a long time. Now it's African immigrants over there. Now it's Haitian immigrants over there. And you can't sit here and tell me that there's no way that these people can get their work permits to start working on these affordable housing.
The Home Depot is responding to our story saying this: we have a long-standing non-solicitation policy at our stores. Our top priority is the safety of our associates and customers, and we invest significant resources in making sure they can work and shop safely. Our ongoing approach includes technology, personnel, and close relationships with local law enforcement and elected officials. Now, we do want to point out, we did see Chicago police out there at the time that we did record video, but nothing was done about that activity. An email and 2 calls were made to Alderman Ronnie Mosley's office. So far, we haven't heard back.
Man, listen. How many times, I'm asking, because I don't know. I can only speak from my personal experience. How many times have we been to a white neighborhood, a really nice white neighborhood, okay, where you don't see a lot of black people, and the black people you see, you know, they live there or whatever the case is, and they kind of stand out because they act a certain way. But you happen to be in that neighborhood for whatever reason, and you go into the store, you stick out like a sore thumb. You stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody's kind of looking like, oh, there's a nigger in this store. What is going on here? Everybody's looking like that. Okay. So much so to the point where security is going to keep an extra eye out on you, because they're all like, why? I don't know why a black is in here. This is not the store for him. This is not Nike. This is not Footless. What is he doing in here? This is, how many times have we done that? Okay. Where the security will just add, you will have customers, and a lot of times they do this just to let you know, like subliminally, like they have an eye out, they keep an eye on you. So you'll have a customer literally ask you for help. How many times? Come on now. We've all done that. We've all experienced that. How many times we're minding our business, we got a cart full of stuff, we're kind of just like looking through some of the clothes or wherever the case is, maybe looking through some of the shoes or whatever the case is, and a customer just improperly skips past all these white people and go directly to you and be all like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything I can help you with? This specifically to you. We've all been through that. Just to kind of get a feel of you, just to kind of let you know, like, hey, this is really not, let me go address this person, let this person know that I'm watching him. Oh, well, and they'll give a subtle little warning too, like, oh, okay, well, if you need me, I'll be right here, right behind you. I'll be right behind you the entire time. If you ever need anything, if you have a question at all, I am standing right behind you, okay? So just so you know. How many times have we gone through that? And that's just one person. One person. Okay? You just see, you go into a nice white establishment, a white place, right? And you'll just see a sudden increase in security presence, a sudden increase in police presence. You'll just see that. You just walking around, you might see one security guard, he might be standing at the door. And the longer you're there, you're starting to see more security. You're starting to see, now you got a security guard at both doors, at both exits. You see the employees start circulating around. People start coming from the back. You didn't even know the store had all these people working here. They just start just showing up all of a sudden, just to keep an eye out on you, to help you in case you need any assistance. Okay? Because they just want you to know that they're watching and they're there for your safety. Their safety, your safety, the store safety. They'll let you know that. It's just one person. That's one person. So imagine if we, as FBA, went to a white neighborhood and it was like 30 grown black men outside of a nice white store. Outside of a Home Depot or department store in a nice white neighborhood. They would lose their minds. It would be Armageddon. Okay. It would absolutely be Armageddon if 30 of us went to a nice white white neighborhood and we were just outside, just talking outside the store, saying hello and to all of the nice, kind white folk going in the store. Hey, if you have a dollar, I will tell you something. There's a lot of things that are strong in this world. You will see the grip of a white woman with her purse in her hand when she sees a black person is incredibly strong. There's like some type of scientific reaction. Okay. She clenches her purse. It kind of wrinkles up so much it never really regains shape. You can almost tell when a white woman has seen a black person by looking at her purse. If you see wrinkles in her purse, that means she grips it tight when she sees a black person. That's how you know. Okay, she will clench her purse up like this. Okay, she will hold that purse like this is a damn football and she's about to make a touchdown. She's not letting that thing go. This is her baby. She don't want nothing to do with you. Thank you. She talks really fast and she walks really fast. Next thing you know, you have police all over the place. You like, damn, why is SWAT here? SWAT is here for you. SWAT is here for you, sir, because you're not supposed to be here. You need to go back to your neighborhood with the rest of the blacks. I don't know why you think you're invited here. That's what they would do if they saw a few of us. Okay? Doing what they're doing. Yet in our neighborhood, in the black neighborhoods in Chicago, you can have dozens of them on the daily basis, sitting outside, loitering, following people all in the stores, knocking on people's cars, harassing people as they're coming in, as they're going out. And the police just sit there and just be all like, don't look like it's a crime being committed to me. There's no crime being committed to me. I don't see no crime. Oh, when you show up at a white neighborhood, they don't need to see a crime. They just need to see you. No, you're the black on your skin is the crime. That's the crime right there. The darkness, you see how your skin is like darker than my skin? That's your crime. That's your hands behind your back, sir. That's the crime right there. That's the crime you've committed. Okay? With them, they be all like, well, I mean, there's nothing illegal with him asking to wash your car, ma'am. I just don't know if I can really do anything about it. It's really out of my hands. Okay? Well, is it in nice hands? Oh, well, no, it's not in nice hands at all. Nothing we can do. I would just, if I were you, I would just, hurry up and buy. That's what they tell us. So not only is Chicago doing more layoffs, is Chicago more expensive with all of the taxes that's been raised, but we getting essentially harassed, in particular the women, because they don't really do that with the brothers. When it comes to the brothers, they don't really try that much. If we say no, that's a no. But like when it comes to the women and like elders, they'll be very persistent. Please, 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 please. And they'll do it again and again and again and again. If you have a decent age black man who's like fit and all that stuff, they're going to say no one time and they're going to kind of back off. Okay, they ain't going to sit up there and harass that much. Okay, unless there's like a ton of them, but they know they ain't gonna get no money. They're just only gonna get problems. They try to put a lot of pressure on the women and the elders in the community. So it makes it, and to be honest, and this is going into a much darker place, a lot of the children in the community too. So it's a lot more dangerous for them. So the situation is just bad in general on the resources point and on the safety aspect of it. Okay. I can't believe I had to play all this stuff. But shout out to, let me get to some of the cash apps or super chats. Shout out to We Next, aka DBS. He sends a $10 super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And then FBA Justice says, white people fear black people for no good reason. It's ingrained in their psyche, even if they've known you all their lives. They do. It is something bad. Thank you for that super chat. It's something with them, like mentally, like Lord, mentally. But they out here, and because of the fact that the left stream media, they're still out here trying to cape for them, trying to make it seem like deportation is some sin and crime to humanity. Look at this. Oh, look at this, y'all. So they're saying federal judge, just look at the headlines. It's saying federal judge says 2-year-old U.S. citizen was deported with mother to Honduras. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. They're deporting a 2-year-old now. Is this where we've gone in society, where they're deporting a 2-year-old? This is insane. This is crazy. Let's look into this a little bit. It says a federal judge said Friday a 2-year-old U.S. citizen was deported with her mother to Honduras. The Trump administration says her mother asked officials to take her with her, documents show. So the mother is an illegal. The father clearly is too. And she was being deported. She thought that she was going to be able to have an anchor baby, which is why she came over here and got knocked up and had the baby, or she got knocked up before and had the baby here. She thought that the anchor baby was going to keep her in the country. They said, nah, ma'am, now you still got to bounce. She said, okay, well, I'm going to take my baby with me. So, yeah, the anchor baby stuff isn't really working that well. Okay. Well, and now they saying a U.S. citizen. That's why Trump is changing the 14th Amendment. He's making the change to the 14th Amendment because they've been using the 14th Amendment as a little scapegoat to get anchor babies in this country. So that's why Trump had to change it up and fix that seal, fix that little leak that they had in there. All right. It continues to say the U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty said the child, identified in the court documents as VML, was released in Honduras Friday afternoon alongside her mother, who judge said is an undocumented immigrant. Okay. But you see how the headline said they deported a U.S. citizen. Well, yeah, you mean an anchor baby. You see, it doesn't really hit the same if you said an anchor baby. You're trying to frame it like these people are citizens here and ICE is just closing their eyes and just picking people up and throwing people in a van just indiscriminately. No, the mother is illegal. The father's not legal. The baby is an anchor baby. So either the baby stays here by themselves or they go with the mother. The baby goes with the mother. Now, here's the thing. It's a win if you do, win if you don't. Because if they left the baby here, then here's what CNN would be all like, oh my God, they're separating families. It's a 2-year-old baby. And now the 2-year-old baby is going to have to grow up without her mother because her mother has been deported back to Honduras. It's so terrible. It's so tragic. How could he separate families? I thought he was a family man. Okay. You don't want to separate families. That's fine. Well, let you go with the baby. How about you take the baby back? Oh, you're deporting the baby. Oh my God, I can't believe it. This is a baby. A 2-year-old little baby girl is getting deported back. So it's a win if you do, win if you don't. There's absolutely no winning because if the baby stayed, they would have said, oh my God, this is a separation of families. Trump is back at it again. This is so terrible. This is so heartbreaking. And when the baby leaves, they say the same thing. Oh my God, the baby is leaving. The baby's going back to Honduras. The baby doesn't even know anything about Honduras. This is so terrible. This is so tragic. This is what they're doing. This is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. There's absolutely no win. So to be honest, I'm actually kind of glad that as far as the deportations and all of that stuff, that the Trump administration is just really not caring what the mainstream media thinks. Just really not. Let me show y'all this. Okay. It's saying ICE, first of its kind operation with local law enforcement leads to nearly 800 immigrants arrested in Florida. Okay. So look into this real quick. It says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, announced Saturday the agency and state law enforcement in Florida have arrested nearly 800 people over 4 days in a, quote, massive multi-agency immigration enforcement crackdown. ICE's office in Miami calls the, quote, highly successful operation a first of its kind partnership between state and federal partners. CNN has reached out to ICE for more detail about the arrest, their legal status, and the scope of the operation. All right. It says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hailed the operation as, quote, an example of Florida and the Department of Homeland Security partnering to deliver big results on immigration enforcement and deportations, according to a statement on X. So this is what's going on. Trump administration not really caring that much. And Trump administration, yeah, not really caring. But because of the fact that there's no way the media is being able to spin the narrative the way they want to spin it, you got people who are willing to risk not only losing their careers, destroying their careers, willing to lose their entire livelihood, willing to go to jail. Let me introduce you all to Judge Hannah Duncan. Judge Hannah Duncan is going above and beyond to the point where she is willing to go to jail. She's gotten arrested for aiding an illegal criminal
in Wisconsin.
Hold on. Y'all won't believe. The judges are going above and beyond. because they got to stop immigration by any means necessary, according to them. They will sacrifice everything they've ever worked for people who just got here a couple years ago.
A judge in Wisconsin was arrested this morning at the very courthouse where she works. Joining us now is NBC's Tom Winter. Back with us is Temadayo Oganga-Williams. So, Tom, what exactly happened here?
Right, so the details are still coming in, but the reporting comes from our colleague Mike Cosner at our Washington, D.C. bureau. He's reporting that Judge Hannah Duggan, who she's a Milwaukee County Circuit judge, was arrested this morning, quote, for allegedly assisting an undocumented immigrant in avoiding arrest after he appeared in her courtroom last week. Apparently, and by the way, we found out about all of this because the FBI director, Kash Patel, issued a tweet that has since been deleted. We're not sure why it was deleted, announcing this arrest and announcing these charges. And he said, quote, "We believe Judge Duggan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse, Eduardo Flores Ruiz, allowing the subject, an illegal alien," his words, "to evade arrest," end quote. So we're still trying to get some of the details as to what this individual was specifically brought into court for, what charges they were specifically facing, and some of the details of this arrest. I checked, just as you were talking to our colleague Chris Jansing there in Rome, the docket in Wisconsin. The federal charging documents have not yet been unsealed in this particular case. That's not particularly unusual when an arrest happens, and sometimes it takes a while for that paperwork. And remember, there's a time difference as well to appear on the record. So, again, still trying to get some details. But again, the arrest was apparently made at 9:30 Eastern time this morning. This follows, by the way, Jose, some similar types of incidents throughout the country where judges have been involved in some of these ICE cases. Just yesterday, the Suffolk County District Attorney in Boston, a democratically elected district attorney, issued a report actually chastising the judge that was involved in an immigration case there, saying the judge acted improperly after the judge accused ICE and prosecutors there of basically colluding together to get somebody who was about to face trial. A jury had just been impaneled to be removed by ICE. The district attorney's office did an investigation into that and actually rebuked what the judge said. So there's definitely some pushback in law enforcement circles. And one of the things that the Suffolk County district attorney pointed to there, which may or may not be relevant in the Milwaukee case, in this judge that was just arrested and the judge that we've been speaking about, is this idea of the supremacy clause. Basically, ICE has the authority, because they're a federal agency, to conduct these arrests, whether or not it's in a local courtroom or not. And there have been different steps and different things that have been done over the years with respect to some of these arrests. And there's been a number of cases that have gone through this, even all prior to this current Trump administration. So it's definitely an issue that I think everybody thought would reach a particular point. It appears that it has this morning in the case of this Milwaukee judge. We'll just have to see what charges are ultimately brought once that docket becomes unsealed, Jose.
They're trying to cover for her, give her a little room to save face, acting like they don't know what the charges are. They know what the charges are. Come on now. They know what the charges are. This was a dangerous criminal, which is why ICE was there to pick him up. ICE came to the courthouse specifically looking for him. ICE came there looking for him. She sent them in the wrong direction and then tried to sneak them out the back door. She risked not just her career as being a judge. She risked breaking federal law to save an illegal immigrant. That's how important it was to her. Now she's been arrested. She is that deep to them. They are willing to go to jail for this. That's how deep it is. Now, I've never heard of any judge doing anything similar like that for black people at all. We get the book thrown at us for any and all circumstances. And we got judges bending over backwards, willing to risk their entire life for an illegal immigrant. This is how far the Democrats have gone from sanity. This is how far they've gone from sanity. So as far as all of the immigration and stuff like that, yeah, you're not going to convince us that immigration is our issue. Y'all saying she handsome. Y'all saying she is very handsome. I can't believe it. Y'all petty, y'all just knows no bounds, huh? Y'all saying, oh, she got some broad shoulders on her. Oh my God, look at her chin. I said, oh my God. Y'all said she looked like she can bench press at least 300 pounds. I said, okay, y'all gotta stop. Stop it. Stop it. That's too petty. Okay, let's stop. Okay. Okay. Y'all said her midnight snack looked like protein. I said, stop. You can't do that. Okay. Y'all something else. Y'all said that, they say her name was Hannah, but it might have been Han before. Y'all said that it looked like the surgery didn't go all the way well. Y'all need to stop. Y'all said, as far as the judge is concerned, you think that she'd be able to get her hormone pills. Y'all need to stop saying stuff like that. Okay? That is mean. That is mean. Y'all said Halloween is over, take the mask off. That is mean. Y'all need to stop being so mean to this nice young lady or this person. Okay? Y'all need to stop. Oh Lord. Y'all said she looked like one of my old G.I. Joe action figures. That is mean. Y'all need to stop saying stuff like that about her. Okay? Why y'all saying that? Y'all said that it looked like she was going through plastic surgery and a credit card decline. That is mean. That is not a nice thing to say. Okay? Y'all said she looks like the typical bully in a cartoon. That is not nice. Okay? Y'all need to stop. Okay? Y'all said at least we know she ain't gonna be the one getting beat up in prison. That's not nice. Okay? Can we stop being petty? Y'all in the chat room, I'm not saying none of this stuff. I'm just repeating what you guys are saying. Okay? What you guys are saying. I'm just repeating that. All right? Man. Lord have mercy. All right. Hannah Duncan. Oh. Y'all gotta find God or something like that. I can't believe y'all so mean to that lady, risking her life for immigrants. Okay. Shout out to We Next, aka DBS, says, I had to run it back, family. Keep up the amazing work, my warrior brother. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your cash, the super chat. I appreciate you, brother. I really, really do. Okay. Tell it like it is says, babies don't really know much about anything, so spare me with that sob story. Thank you. If a baby is 2 years old, do you remember what country you was living in when you was 2? If the baby is born in America and then grows up from the age of 2 on up in Honduras, the baby's not gonna know nothing about no America. The baby gonna be fine. You putting the baby in the headlines to make it seem like it's a sob story. Okay. Now here we go. Alonda is being petty. Here we go. She says she looks like the evil lunch lady from the old Fruit by the Foot commercial. Lord have mercy. She said she looked like the evil lunch. She ain't wrong. That's the thing. She ain't wrong. She is not wrong. Okay. She looks like the meanest substitute teacher you are ever gonna have. Okay. She looks like she looks like she goes to your son's soccer football game, your soccer game, and she starts heckling the kids. That's what she looks like. Okay. That's exactly what she looks like. Lord have mercy. Y'all just so mean. Okay. What does she do besides break the law for an illegal immigrant to deserve all of this? What does she do? I just want to know that. Okay. Besides breaking the federal law for a dangerous illegal immigrant who's going to go out and harm society, what does she do to deserve this type of harassment? I just want to know. Y'all just so mean to her. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all said she looks like the villain. Stop saying this stuff. That's mean to say. Y'all said she looked like the villain in an old school Disney movie. Okay. Y'all said she looked like that octopus lady in The Little Mermaid. That is not nice. Okay. That's so not cool. That is not cool. Okay. That's not. Lord have mercy. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Have y'all seen? I need to stop because y'all getting to me. Now I'm getting petty. Now I'm getting petty because of you guys. It's not me. I'm not petty. You guys are petty and y'all making me petty. Y'all doing it to me. Y'all infecting me with your pettiness. And I wish you guys would stop. But I just want to say, have y'all seen the thing online of like 100 men versus one gorilla? Have y'all seen that? It's like a question online going viral about 100 men versus one gorilla. If there was 100 men versus one gorilla, the men gonna need her on the team. The men gonna need her on the team, okay? She looks like she would be like the main character right there. She looks like she would be the main. Y'all need to stop because y'all getting to me. And I'm sitting up there trying to be mature, just bring you guys the news and report on the situation. And y'all got me talking about this handsome lady right here. Okay. Okay, I need to find out what her workout plan is so I can get my shoulders to get that size. Because my shoulder, I don't know. Like, does she do the press? Is it a variation of a push up? I don't know. Okay, that's a compliment. Actually, that's a compliment. I just don't know what type of push up she must be doing to get the shoulders that round. So I just need to work on that part. All right. So, but she does not deserve to be bullied like that. And y'all getting me doing it. I just can't believe it. Okay. FBA Justice says Afro Elite saying the devil rats, demon rats are not our friends. Tom Homan is for now. Yeah. We don't have any permanent friends or permanent enemies. We just have permanent interests. Tom Homan is doing something that just at the time aligns with what is in our best interest at this very moment in time. I'm not saying that Tom Homan is a permanent friend of our community. He's an ally to our cause. Not saying none of that. But at the time, what is in our best interest is what he's doing. So, okay, I'm not mad at it. Alonda says, Jason Black says she looked like Greg the Hammer Valentine from WWE in the 1980s. Oh, man. Yeah, it does. Yeah, she does. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, he ain't wrong. He is not wrong. He is not wrong. I bet you she got some wrestling belts. I bet you she has wrestling belts. Okay. Okay. I wonder who she beat up to become a judge. Let me not say that. Why did I say that? That is so. Come on now. Come on. Tell her like it is says, look at those lips she doesn't have. I was wondering if that was like a medical thing or something like that. If that was photoshopped. I was wondering where the lips were. I just couldn't find them. It's like a little slice in her face. She has like a little slice in her face. It's not a lip at all there. It's like a little slice that just opens up the face where the mouth is supposed to be. I don't see it. I don't know. And I kind of zoomed in a little bit like that, but I just couldn't find it. It's like she has a slice in her face where the lips are supposed to be. I just wonder. I don't know. You know, it looks like if she tried to put on lipstick, it would like slice the lipstick up. Okay. Oh man. She looks. Stop. Look at what you guys got me doing. I can't believe it. Here I was thinking I was a good man who was not petty, and look at what you guys got me doing. She looks like she brings in all of the groceries in one trip. She looked like it don't matter how many groceries, and it's probably a lot. It's probably a lot. If we're gonna be honest, it's probably a lot of groceries. Okay. A lot of protein, a lot of eggs, a lot of beef, a lot of pork, a lot of that. She looks like she just and brings in all of the groceries in at one single time, up the stairs, across the hall, unlocks the apartment door, kicks open the door, and puts them all down on the counter at one single time. Why do y'all got me doing this? I can't believe it. All right. And we got brother Omega Man. I like that name, Omega Man. I like that name. It's a cool name. Sends a $5 super sticker. Okay. Sends a $5 super sticker. Okay, we can't move on with y'all being so petty. Look at how much time we've devoted to this subject. Says, I hope she doesn't have allegations against Shannon Sharpe. Can you imagine? I don't. Shannon Sharpe is a big dude, but I don't know, brother. And thank you, Alpha Male Pimp Network. Thank you. To be honest with you, and I haven't publicly spoken on the Shannon Sharpe situation. I haven't really done that on the Shannon Sharpe situation. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. I could kind of see it. I don't know. I don't. Shannon really don't like his girls pretty like that. I don't know what it is. Like when I looked at the allegation, and I don't want to divert too much, but when I looked at it, I was all like, really? Like he. I don't know if Shannon, maybe he didn't have his glasses on or something like that, but Shannon really don't like his women good looking. Like I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. But in the race play thing, it ain't gonna be no docile white women. There's gonna be a slave master. She looks like she plays the slave master and overseer in the bedroom. Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Okay. Because next thing y'all gonna say is she look like if she is on the elevator and somebody else getting on the elevator, she got to step off the elevator. Okay. She looked like it's only one of her on the elevator at one time. That's it. Okay. That's it. That's all. Stop it. Okay. Mess around with this talking about this handsome lady like that. Can't believe it. If she drinks anything from a straw, it would leak. If she drinks anything from a straw, it would leak. Lord, it man. The way she be cutting stuff up with those, I just don't know. I really don't. Boy, Lord have mercy. She probably looks, stop. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I saying this? But she probably looks like she became a judge for revenge. You know when certain people get jobs and they do it just so they can have revenge? She looks like she wanted to become a judge for vengeance. She looks like at all of the guys who rejected me in high school, all of the prom dates I was never able to go on, all of the things I was never able to do, I'm locking niggas up and I'm throwing away the kid. That's what she looks like. She looks like it was a revenge mission. Okay. Now, she probably saved the illegal immigrant. I don't know. And this might get into allegations. We don't know. We shouldn't assume. Okay, that's wrong for us to assume. But we got to say it. We have to say it. These are the women. This is what the women who go overseas. And have y'all seen that show? I'm not the only one. Have y'all seen that show where the women, they'll go overseas and they'll marry somebody? They'll marry somebody so they can get a green card. Have y'all seen it? And next thing you know, she's with this very skinny, like frail Nigerian man. She's with a very skinny foreign boy, talking about this is the love of my life. I just love her so much. and he kissing all up on her. He can barely wrap his arms around her because she's just so big and everything. Have y'all seen those videos? I think it's a Netflix show or something like that, where the women, and they all big white women, and they go overseas and they get married, and the guy who gets married to them, they get a thick accent, but they in love so they can get a green card. Okay. She looks like her husband needs a green. That's maybe why she's so sympathetic to immigrants. I don't know. I just don't know. It may be why. Okay. What they call that 90-day fiance. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, right? 90-Day Fiance or one of those shows. I think they call it one of those shows, 90-Day Fiance or something like that, where they get married. I think it's called that, where they get married to an immigrant or whatever the case is, because she can't get no American, because the Americans got better options. This was about immigration. We're sitting up there talking about this lady. But the Americans got better options. So she got to go to some place where they barely have running water to get married. Like, have we seen that stuff? Have we seen that? Okay. All right. But we are not, we ain't out here setting up that tap. Yeah. So I can't believe you just said that. Somebody said, you had passport bros, but now we got passport hoes. We got women who got to go overseas. And you know it's something bad when a woman got to go overseas. You know it's something bad. Okay. Stop. Okay. Why does it look like... Why does it look like if she just did her hair a little differently, she would be the perfect Frankenstein for Halloween? She just got to, you know how Frankenstein has his hair and his hair is like up, his hair is up and all that stuff. If she just like used some hairspray and kept her hair up, like dyed it a little bit, perfect Frankenstein for Halloween. Why does it look like I could see it. I could see that. And that's a compliment. That's a compliment. Okay. I'm giving her Halloween ideas. She might be in jail, so she might not be able to celebrate, but I'm just giving her ideas in case she gets out one day. But boy, anyway though, I could see it. I could see that. Can you imagine? I need to stop. This is the last one. Y'all stop joking, because this is the last one, because there's something else I got to talk about. Okay. Something else. Can you imagine if if she was like your doctor who delivered your baby or whatever the case is, how horrified the baby must be? Can you imagine that? Like, if the baby's eyes opened up and they saw her, how confused and depressed the baby must be. I mean, that's just a horrible life to live. I don't know. I just don't. Okay. And I said we was going to stop joking because there's some more stuff we got to talk about. Okay. And I was being serious. Y'all was the ones joking. And then y'all got me to tell some jokes. Okay. Because I was not even trying to address the jokes. Y'all got me telling the jokes. All right. It says, Alpha Male Pimp Network says, this is the type of white woman that breeds in Wisconsin. Yeah. No allegations. I'm not trying to say anything because it's wrong to say, but there is a reason incest is illegal. There is. I'm not saying it's connected. Use your imagination, but there is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. Okay. Because it is just, there is a reason for that. There is. Okay. But that's enough. All right. Back to being serious. All right. So, as we know, FBA, we're not sitting up there caping for immigration or nothing like that no more. We're not caping for it. But you do have some people who are. Hold on. Like, and let me show you this. Here.
Way in which democracies.
You got what's his name? What's her name? Simone Banks. Is that her name? Simone Sanders. I said Simone Banks. Simone Sanders is now talking about deportation and how terrible the deportation thing is, and then how we are subject to deportation as well too. That's where she goes.
The realistic way in which democracies die is that it's dismantled brick by brick, piece by piece. And she says that what we are seeing now with the lawlessness from this administration are really the canaries in the coal mine gasping for.
I can't help myself, and that's because of y'all. I can't help myself because of you guys, okay? So everything I do thus forth is not my fault. It's not. I don't want anybody to say it is, because it's not. But y'all, it's got to be something. You gotta feel some type of way if Simone Sanders, because Simone Sanders is a big back. That's big back broad. That's a big back broad. But it's got to be something if Simone Sanders is out here. If she can flex on you in the looks department, there's something wrong. There's just something, I don't know. I ain't never seen no Simone Sanders be able to sit up there. When I looked at Simone Sanders, I'm like, oh, she don't look that bad. Oh, wow. Because that's what I was looking at her. I was looking at Hannah Duncan Donuts. I was looking at Hannah Duncan Donuts the whole time. And then I see Simone, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're getting back to normal. You know that's bad. You just know that's messed up. And I said we was going to stop joking. And it's not my fault. Again, I'm not doing it. It's not me. You guys are infecting me with all of y'all petty. All right? It's not me. It's not my fault. I take no accountability. It's not me. But let's continue.
Air. I'm paraphrasing here. But to me, that is why Kilmar.
Yeah, oh my God. See, when you compare her shoulders to the man, it just make her look that much bigger. The camera just ain't flattering her at all. Oh my God. I mean, look at how much wider she is. She's so much wider than the dudes. Oh my God. Anyway, okay.
Garcia's specific case, the case of the gentleman who's a makeup artist out of California who was also sent to that prison. That is why the 75% of the folks who have been sent, the men who have been sent there that don't have criminal records, that is why this is so important. Because
they say they don't have criminal records. If you are not in the country legally, you are breaking the law. That is it. That is all. You don't need to commit more crimes. By you being in a country that you're legally not supposed to be in, that is a violation of the law, thus making you a lawbreaker, thus making you a criminal, thus making it acceptable for you to be deported. Okay? You don't have to commit more crimes on top of the crime that you already committed by being in a country illegally. It's just people without criminal records, ma'am, the fact that they're here is a criminal offense. But okay.
If they could do it to them, if they could snatch.
Look, okay, here we go.
The men who have been sent there that don't have criminal records, that is why this is so important. Because if they could do it to them, if they could snatch students off the street without any pushback or recourse, they will do it to any of us. And to be very clear, it's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
What? First off, people of color and vulnerable communities. Ma'am, okay, first off, are you implying they can do it to us? If they can do it to them, they can do it to us. Every time I hear somebody say that, every single time I hear somebody say that, I just have one question, just one question, okay? Because we can go back and forth and debate about it all day, but just one question. Where would we go? Every time somebody's all like, we can be next. It could be you. You could be next. If they're deporting them, they can deport you too. They can deport you too. Where? Y'all been saying that for months. where would we go? Where would we be deported? Y'all been saying for months, literally since Trump became president. Y'all been saying for months, all year long, oh, we gonna be next. It's gonna be us next. They coming for us next. They coming for us next. Well, oh my God, we're gonna get deported. Where? Just if you want me to fear being deported, just give me the location. Okay. Give me the location of where I'm going to be deported. Somebody says, if, like I said before, if I get deported, it would probably be back. If I'm like to go back, I would probably get deported maybe to Mississippi. More than likely, I would be deported to Mississippi. Okay. Now, that's on maybe one side of the family. I don't know do they do the like paternal side? Do they deport you on the father's side or the mother's side? Because that's what we need to know. That's what we need to know, because if they deport you on the father side and mother side, it might determine where you go. So I may go to Mississippi or I might wind up in Arkansas. It depends. It does depend. I might go to Arkansas. I might go to Mississippi. I don't know if they determine like, okay, what, because they're both in the South. So does it I don't know how that part works though. Like, I don't know exactly how that part works. Exactly. Is it like the last ancestor to come to Chicago? Do you get a choice? Okay, is it random? Do they flip a coin like father, mother? You know what I'm saying? If they're from two different states. Okay. A lot of people here are fearing deportation. They're saying they're going back to Virginia. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I guess that's where, because I'm just asking where. That's all I'm asking. Where will we go? Some people are saying Virginia. Some people are saying Arkansas, Louisiana. Okay, so there might be Arkansas, Louisiana. Okay, hey yo, I'll be right with you in Mississippi. In case I'm not in Arkansas, I might be with you in Mississippi, Louisiana, or Texas. There's a possibility. I have family in Texas. There's a possibility I might be in Texas. I could be in Texas. I wonder. Okay. So as far as the deportation thing goes, because I think we got to figure this out, because if we're getting deported, we should make plans. Okay, I'm all about us being prepared. So if we're getting deported, I think we should make plans. So we should make plans on where your father's side is going and then where your mother's side is going. Okay. So if they were to deport you and you were to go on your mother's side, we need to find out where we would go. If they were to deport me and I was to go on my mother's side, I would be going to Mississippi. Okay. That's where we would be going. We would all be in Mississippi. Okay. If I was to go on my father's side, now here's the tricky thing about that. My father's mother and father, his paternal and maternal family lineage is from two different states. So I don't know how it flips like that. So am I going on my dad's side or my dad's mom's side? Because if I go on my dad's mom's side, I could be in Arkansas. But if I go on my dad's side, I could be in Texas. So I need to find out. So I know like the real estate in the area. I can start setting up, getting the customs, because it's warmer there. I would have to get rid of all my winter clothes because it really doesn't rain or snow. Okay, Lillian, you said your daddy's side is Louisiana. Okay, so that's Louisiana. So you'd be in Louisiana. We have to figure this out, because if we are to be next, like they keep saying, they've been saying for months, I haven't seen one incident, but it could happen. So if we are to be next, we should at least know where we're going, because all of these immigrants, they have something that we don't know. They know where they're going. We just wouldn't know where we're going. So, and I don't think they're just going to randomly put us anywhere. Okay, so okay, you would go to Arkansas. The thing, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that it works on your dad's side or your mom's side? I need to know this. Okay. I think, would it work on your dad's side or your mom? Does it depend? Do you get a choice? Does it depend on like, what if your parents are separated and you're living with one parent and you're not living with like, if it was like, if you were like a kid or something like that and you're living with your mom, do you get deported with your mom? Your mom has to go and then your dad has to go, but you go with your mom types. Okay. I need to know this. Okay. Would they flip a coin? They could flip a coin, possibly. A lot of people are going in Mississippi. So I'll see you, a lot of you all in Mississippi. Okay, your mom's side. Okay, let me ask you guys a question, because I mean, we all, have family reunions and stuff like that. Which side would you guys rather go on? Like, if we had a choice, would you rather go on your dad's side, get deported on your dad's side of the family, or would you rather get deported on your mom's side of the family? Okay, would you rather get deported on your mom's side of the family? Okay, that's what I want to know. I personally, and this is just me, after seeing the Sinners movie, which takes place in Mississippi, I would probably go to Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Because I just watching the Sinners movie, it takes place in the Mississippi Delta. I'm all like, okay, well, that's my mom's side of the family. So if I was to get deported, if I had a choice, I would go back to Mississippi with Smoke and Stack. That's where I would go. So that's my personal thing, though. But like, let's say you might be a Beyonce fan, so you might want to go on your dad's side of the family. You might want to go to Texas. Okay, we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things. They're both, now if they're both from the same place, it's just no, because Cyberdyne says they're both from South Carolina, so he's definitely going back to South Carolina. He's going to South Carolina. Okay, so that's cool. He's going to South Carolina, so it's no confusion. So at least he'll have all of his family there. Okay, he'll have all of his family there. Okay, A says his maternal grandmother is from Buckhead. Okay, she's from Buckhead, Georgia. She left in the 1930s. Okay, Buckhead is cool. Shout out to Buckhead. Shout out to Georgia. I love Georgia. Shout out to Georgia. Okay, Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, Alabama. Okay. My mom is from Arkansas and dad is from Philadelphia. Okay. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Oh, see, and that's one thing about FBA too. Like, even though we all have the same lineage, a lot of when it comes to like where we are, most of our parents, even though our parents probably, of course, they had to meet sometime, right? Obviously, but like our parents' lineage, like our parents' are probably from different states. I'm seeing that a lot in the chat room. Your parents, we often think like my family lineage. If I say my family lineage is from Mississippi, a lot of people think, oh, my family's from Mississippi. No, my family is from Mississippi. My family's also from Arkansas. And then my family's also from Texas. So I got family like all throughout the South, pretty much. And then a lot of them moved. There's some in Atlanta. There's some over here. There's some over there. So a lot of our families is kind of like all over the place. To be real with you, a lot of our families are all over the place when you count the mom and the dad side of the family. Okay, that's why in a family reunion, we might go to Arkansas for one family reunion, then we might go to Mississippi for another family reunion, then you might go to Virginia for another family reunion. So you might go all over the place. Okay. And Nini says her mom is from Philadelphia and her dad is from North Carolina. Okay, shout out to North Carolina. And then you got to think too, it's interesting when you think about this stuff, because then you got to think, what led your parents to meet each other? Like, if your dad is in Texas, you would think, because most people, especially if this is prior to like technology and stuff like that, most people, if they were together, they met in the same state. Okay. Now in technology, you can meet people from across the state or whatever the case is. You had to meet. So eventually your mom and your dad eventually had to be at the same place at the same time, right? We just all know that. Everybody here, if there's one thing we do know, is that your mom and your dad were at the same place at the same time at one point in time in history. That's the only thing we know. Even if it was one single day, we know for a fact that your mom and your dad were at the same place at the same time once upon a time. You know, so it just kind of, it makes you have to think, like, I wonder how one side of the family had to meet the other side of the family. It's so very interesting. Maybe deportation ain't really that bad for us. You know, maybe we can learn a lot from the deportation thing. I think it'd be a nice little family reunion thing. It'd be cool. Maybe. I don't know. It just don't sound that scary to me. Personally, it just don't sound as scary to me. You know, that's what I just want to know that. And that's just assuming that, you know, we would go down south because ain't nobody, like I said, nobody told us where we would be deported. Nobody's saying that. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Let's see what she's talking about.
Very clear. It's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
I think that's right. And that's certainly part of why the African American community is so strongly behind the supporting Kilmar.
Yeah, we're like, we are not for this.
Yeah.
And he's talking about an illegal immigrant. He says the quote unquote African American community is behind supporting some illegal immigrant who was deported back to Honduras. Okay. Or not Honduras. I'm thinking of the baby. What's that? Not Venezuela. Is it Venezuela? I think it is Venezuela. Yep.
Because, as you just said, if they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us?
The realistic way in which democracies die is that it's dismantled brick by to have been sent, the men who have been sent there that don't have vulnerable communities that are next in line.
I think that's right. And that's certainly part of why the African American community is so strongly behind the support.
Oh, it's El Salvador?
Supporting Kilmar.
Yeah, we're like, we are not for this.
Yeah, because, as you just said, if they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us?
The realistic.
If they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us? The same thing that they've been doing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have not been doing anything at all. We are not subject to deportation. They have not been doing anything. If they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us? They're not supposed to be here. We are supposed to be here. We're one of the only people who are supposed to be here. We're really the only people. We're going to be honest with it, like fully honest with it. We're the only people supposed to be here. Ain't nobody else before us supposed to be here. So if they're gonna take them away, where they're not gonna do nothing to us. And y'all been saying this, y'all been making the same scare tactic for months. And this is why the quote unquote African American community is so concerned. Do you guys remember a couple months ago when the deportation thing was going on? And you had a whole bunch of Hispanics online talking about, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care that we getting deported. Come on, let's protest together. This is black and brown. Come on, we got to do this together. Come on, please help us. Do y'all not remember that? And we was just sitting back like, no, we good. We good. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all cool. Now, this whole thing of, man, the African Americans, man, they is not playing with this. They is so mad about this man being deported. Let me tell you, man, they are so mad. Who? Get me sounding like an owl. Who? What are you talking about? Who is mad? Y'all were just crying about how we were indifferent to them getting deported like a month or two ago. Everybody was sitting up there scratching their head like, what? When the black Americans don't care about us getting deported? Come on, help us, please go out and protest with us, please. And we was just sitting back like, that's y'all problem. We got our own fish to fry. We cool. Y'all got it though. And they were sitting up there crying, and everybody's all like, why don't they care? Why don't they care? We were playing video after video after video, like, please, we helped you back in Mexico. Now it's your turn to help us. Please, you blacks, please. We've been playing the clips of them crying. They've been crying about us helping them, begging for us to help them. Okay, sitting up there getting mad that we not at the protest, sitting up there protesting with them. We've seen the protests. We ain't really there in large numbers like that. We not really sitting up there protesting in large numbers like that. So this man sitting up there talking about, man, there's one reason why the African American community, man, they ain't playing no games now. They're so mad. They are mad. They could not be more mad. I've never seen them more mad than this. They are so mad. Stop. You're not going to lie and convince us that we mad about something that we don't care about. You're just not going to be able to do that. You're sitting up there lying, and you really only lying to yourself, and you think you're lying to the audience. And this just shows how out of touch you guys are. the fact that you guys are even still trying to sell this lie. Like, man, they are so upset. No, we not. And y'all trying to force us to be upset about this issue is not working. That is not working out for y'all. Man, y'all won't believe how mad I saw black people. Black people are furious. Let me tell you. Dude, if you don't stop lying, I don't know what to do with you. I really don't. If you do not stop lying, we are not afraid of being deported. We don't care that illegals are being deported. That's exactly what we've been needing. Okay. Let me show you this again. Why you thinking that we mad about being
just trying to show?
Why you thinking that we sitting up there crying about them being deported, and we calling the authorities because they sitting up there at Home Depot all outside. They at Home Depot loitering, following the women and the old men and ladies in the stores, harassing them, begging them for money, and you thinking that we sitting up there crying because an illegal got deported? You thinking that we crying because the baby and the mother got deported? You thinking that we crying? No, we need more of them. We need more of this. We need much, much more of this. Y'all understand that Chicago has spent over $900 million just on healthcare alone for illegal aliens. Almost $1 billion just on healthcare alone, on top of all of the resources and services they've been providing outside of healthcare. You thinking we sitting up there crying because of this? No, we are not crying because of this. You ain't seen black Americans more happy for deportation ever in your entire life. Never. We ain't out here talking about free Hannah, let her go. We ain't out here doing it. Have you seen a FBA protest to free the judge? Free Hannah. She's a defender of human rights. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? Okay. Tell it like it is, says. She looked like she worked out with Hannah. Yeah. Man. We ain't sitting up there. We ain't tripping on none of this stuff. In fact, we need much more. In fact, we need way much more because it's dangerous. You hogging up the resources. You're misusing the resources. Y'all hiding. It takes audits for you guys to be transparent and tell us the truth. You guys clearly have not been giving us the actual numbers, which we could already tell. We've already been saying the numbers that they're saying. And how many times have we gone to city council and they say we've spent this much money on immigrants? And then 2-3 months later, we spent the same amount of money. I'm all like, how did you guys spend the same amount of money that you guys claim that you guys spent 2 months ago, and you guys have been spending more money? If I'm spending $100 a day and I tell you guys I spent $1,000, and then you come back 2 months later and I'm still spending the same amount of money, and when you guys ask me how much money I spent, I say I spent $1,000 in total. How does that math check out? How does that math check out, sir? If you spent $1,000 2 months ago, you have not eased up on your spending at all. You have not received any more money. So that means you're still spending the same money that you were spending when you spent the $1,000. How do you now have only spent $1,000? So we could already tell that y'all was not being transparent with the money you guys were spending, clearly. And now audits are being done. Now we're finding out that damn near $1 billion just on healthcare alone has been spent on illegal immigrants. How many lives could have been saved with $900 million in healthcare? Well, they want to talk about black women going through these maternal issues and pregnancy, the baby having issues, or just healthcare problems in general, diabetes, heart issues, other chronic pains and other stuff like that, other issues, even mental health issues. How much could that have benefited $900 million that you guys essentially wasted? Because a lot of them getting deported, like I said. How much could that have saved people's life? $900 million could have saved, transformed lives. Okay. And just so you guys know, this is, like I said before, this is $900 million more. This is more than what they had planned on spending. So whatever their original budget was, which we don't know, okay, we don't know what the original budget was, but whatever it is, add $900 million over budget. So whatever their ceiling was, they just shot past it up to $900 million. All on illegals, just on them. And they tell us that reparations would break the economy. They said there's no way this economy would be able to recover from reparations. Reparations would destroy the economy. It would lower the value of the dollar so much. It would cause massive inflation. We would go into a recession and then another Great Depression. It would just be anarchy if we paid reparations. That's what they say all the time. It would be anarchy. It would just destroy the country and the fabric of reality as we know it if we paid you guys reparations. We just can't afford such a huge bill like that. And it looks like everywhere you turn, you see $1 billion over here, $2 billion over here, $3 trillion over here, 900 million over here, $1 billion, 200 million, 300 billion. It seems like money just left and right that y'all spending on all these other groups of people in their interest. And then when we start looking like, hey, but didn't y'all say y'all was broke? Oh no, that's a no. I am for you. We are for you. Yeah, just for you though. But these people are important to me, so we got to really take care of these people. Okay, so we're just giving them a check. I'm just putting my name on the check, and they're just putting the number there. I'm not even putting the number there because I don't know how much they need. They know how much they need. So I'm just going to write my name on the check and then just give it to them. And however much they need, they're just going to write the number down and then they're just going to cash the check, because we got to help them. Okay. This is a humanitarian crisis that we made. And we have to make sure that they are taken care of, okay? That their health care is good, that they go to good schools, that they have good tutors and all that stuff. I mean, what would life be if they weren't living in a 5-star hotel? I just couldn't imagine that. That's kind of inhumane to me that they could break into a country and then they're not sleeping in a 5-star hotel. I just couldn't imagine that. Can you? But I think as far as the reparations thing, we just don't have the money for that right now. I haven't forgotten you though, because I do need you to vote, but I haven't forgotten you. I haven't. We just right now, as you can see, my money's kind of tied up. Okay. That's fine, y'all. That's absolutely fine. They told us that their money is tied up. Fine. Well, if your money is tied up, my vote is tied up. How about that? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Their money is tied up. They're spending money over all these over places and all these other people and all this other stuff, and they're spending their money on everything but us. So their money is tied up right now, and that's fine. So if their money is tied up, my vote is tied up. That's we're just gonna do it like that. And when you start, getting your money back and everything like that, and you start to, pay your dividends and pay your bills and stuff like that, and start to catch up, because you got a negative balance right now with FBA. You got a negative balance, and once you pay, you know how they cut your water off, they cut your service off, and they be all like, sorry, sir, you have a negative balance of blah, 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 blah. And in order for your service to be cut back on, we're going to need at least this negative balance to be paid off. That's how we doing it. Oh, yeah, you got a negative balance. How about we're just going to do it like that, just like a service. We're going to do it like that. Your lights get cut off. No, you got to pay your past due. Now you can't just put something on the bill. You got to pay the past due last month and this month, and then we'll cut it back on. So we're just gonna do it like that, okay? So as far as the service of us voting for you and us engaging in the political process like you guys have been wanting, we cut that service off. So now what you guys need to do is you guys need to pay your past due bill. That's reparations. Reparations is your past due bill. And so right now, you guys are being denied service. Why are you guys being denied service? Sir, we've discontinued your service because it looks here that you have, hold on, let me see, hold on, let me see. Hold on, sir. Hold on. Oh my God, this number is a lot bigger than I thought. It looks like you have a past due bill of almost $20 trillion, sir. But we can't, sir. Sir, calm down, sir. Calm down, sir. Calm down. We can continue the service. We can continue the service, but we're going to need you to pay your past due. I can't. I'm sorry. Sorry. You said a payment plan? Hold on. Let me put you on. You just tapping on the screen, figuring it out. Pick it up. Sir, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to do a payment plan. We're not going to be able to do a payment plan. Sorry, we're going to need all of it. That's what we're going to need. We're going to need all of it. The reason why we can't do a payment plan, sir, calm down. The reason why is because your credit is really bad. Your credit is terrible. Okay, so you might do one payment, we turn the service back on, then you stop doing payments. So we've been through this. We've been through this a few times. We're gonna need all of it up front, and if you want all of it up front, you pay all of it up front. We will continue the political process in the service, sir. Sir, that's what it is. I sent you the email of the invoice. I have other people on the line, and you yelling is not going to solve anything. So you have a good day. Click, and then that's it. That's it. I'm not mad. We're not mad. I'm not mad. Are you mad? I'm not mad. I'm not mad because we got leverage. You're not mad when you have leverage. You're mad when you feel like you're behind the 8 ball. You mad when you feel like you're cornered. I don't feel like I'm cornered. I don't feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. I don't feel like that. And we as FBA, we shouldn't feel like that at all. We're not behind the 8 ball. We're not cornered. We're the ones with the leverage. We're the ones who they're coming to us, asking us for support. They're lying, acting like they have more support from us than they really do. We got the leverage. Oh, it's okay. Your money is tied up. Okay. Why don't you? We all adults here. We all pay bills here. Tell your light bill that I'm sorry I couldn't pay you for the last couple months. My money's been tied up. Oh, they will say, okay, well, I'm sorry that you've been through that. I'm very sorry, but we are going to disconnect you. And if you want further service, you're going to have to pay your past due amount. That's just what it is. We couldn't care less about your money being tied up. If you want this service, you're going to have to pay your past due bill. That's just what it is. That's reality. And that's what we're giving them. Oh, you want us to show up? You think that it was a coincidence? Maybe y'all not getting it all the way. Y'all thought that it was a coincidence that Kamala lost? No, that's your service being disconnected. That's what her loss means, okay? I want you to understand that very clearly. Her loss means that the service of Black people participating and especially voting for the Democrat Party has been disconnected. That's exactly what that means. And if you guys think that we just gonna give in and turn the service back on, y'all got another thing coming. Y'all don't have the leverage we do. Biden wasn't gonna win. Kamala wasn't gonna win. And the service is going to stay off indefinitely. If y'all don't want to pay, the service can just stay off. Yep, we're going to do it like that. The service can just stay off because we will find another way. Y'all not going to find another way. That's how we're going to do it. So y'all, your money is tied up. Okay, all right. Well, I just don't understand how you're going to keep this house warm with no lights on, with no electricity. But okay, all right. I guess you can figure it out. You either come up with the money, cut all this little BS that you guys been spending on all these immigrants who not supposed to be here. You cut that stuff off. You give me my money and you pay your service. And then, and then we can start going along with the process the way we should. Or y'all just never going to get the service again. And it's just going to be that. Let me ask you a question. You think after because they'll call you, they'll let you know that you behind on your bills or something like that. They'll let you know. Do you think when they cut your water off, they cut your electricity off, you think when the guy repos your car, he gets your car back that you've been mortgaging? You think when that stuff happens, you think that they be calling you, asking you? Oh no, when the service is off, they don't call you no more. When the service is off, they not calling. You got to call them with the money. When the service is off, they're not even trying to talk to you. When the service is off, you got to call them. You got to come with hat in hand, be all like, hey, I have the money. I'm sorry. I'm going to pay on time. I had something go on. You got to come to them. They don't be coming to you asking for the money no more. Well, when the service is off, you done. You done. You cool. That's what we own. That's how we are operating right now. Right now, the service is off. We not going to you asking to negotiate with the service again. No, y'all got to come back to us with the demands fulfilled, with the requirements fulfilled for us to continue service. We businessmen and businesswomen. That's just how we doing it from now on. The service is off. And you guys have had y'all warning. It don't look like y'all learned y'all lesson. It just don't look like it. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me get to this other super chat by Cowpoke Ranch. Says, now that y'all seen Sinners, y'all need to look into Bleeding Kansas. Okay. Where FBA's and Native American tribes fought demonic vampires, witches from Scotland in 1840s, 50s. The FBA men went on to become the Buffalo Soldiers. That's a movie? I've never heard of that. Okay. Well, thanks for the recommendation. I'm gonna have to check that out. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, somebody get the message out to Brandon Johnson that the service has been disconnected. Your chances of being reelected is over with. It's been over with. And the longer this problem continues, the worse the bill is going to be. Because I want you to keep this in mind. You're still getting charged. Yeah, you're not getting any service. That doesn't mean we're still not charging you. We're still charging you. Because clearly you're still damaging the city. You're still damaging us. We're still being harmed. So you're still getting charged. And the bill is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Y'all should have stopped this when y'all had the chance. But the longer y'all keep going, the worse the service is going to be. And it's going to be all up on y'all. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe around the midterms, when they see that the service is still connected and they really need that service, and around the midterms when they don't win the way they want to, maybe then they'll start to realize, like, yeah, we should probably start collecting our little money and pay that bill off. We should pay the past due amount. We'll see. We'll see. But as of right now, the situation is getting worse. Y'all picked the wrong crew. Ugh. Family, a lot of y'all saying that y'all don't get notifications. So this is why I say you guys can follow me on my various social media platforms, Afro Elite, Instagram, the Afro Elite, X, in the description below. That's so you guys understand, you guys know every single time I go live, all right? Or every time I post a video, because I always make sure I put it on my social media, because a lot of people say that they don't get this stuff through the YouTube notifications, and that's fine, because we always find a way to adapt. We always find a way to come through with that. We always find a way to adjust through that. All right, very important that you guys hit that like button. Very, very important. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell to make sure that you guys do not miss out on anything that we post at all, period. Okay, make sure that you guys do that. I greatly appreciate every single last one of you all. Like I said, y'all, service is disconnected until reparations is paid. And that's the message. We're not going to keep saying it either. Either y'all going to get it or you ain't. But y'all not getting any service until you do. Black First family, thank you guys so very much for watching. I appreciate every single last one of you all. Thank you all. You all have a good one. You all stay blessed.